Hey, welcome back. Simon Lees here again. Got a guitar lesson video for you today. This is a practical thing. Again, I mean, it's not an actual guitar lesson in terms of I'm not going to show you how to play anything, but it's going to be a bit of useful information about tuning. I was on a forum recently, and one comment that I saw was a guy thought it was a bit of an old wives' tale about having to tune your strings going from low to high rather than from high to low. He said he did it anyway, which is good, and I'm going to show you why it's good. So I've got my guitar prepared already, so it's completely out of tune. If I play a chord, see, it's not supposed to sound like that. It doesn't usually sound like that. But I've got my tuner rigged up so you can see what's happening now. That's the thin E string at the moment. It says D. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to go up to E, and then I'm just going to go a little bit past E, and then back down to it. And I'm going to do the same on the B string. At the moment it says A sharp, B. I'm going to go past it, and then I'm going to come back down to it. Now the G string says F at the moment, so I'm going to tune that up, past G, and then just back down to it. The D string's saying C, so I'm going to tighten that. C sharp, so it's almost at D. I'm going to go past D and then back down to it. The A string is saying G, so I'm going to tighten that. G sharp, A, I'm going to go past A. Yep, you guessed it, back down to it. Actually, I'm going to go a bit further. I'm going to go to the fat E string, which is now on C sharp. Up to D sharp, up to E. Oh, I've gone past it again. So, yeah, keep going. Because this is what happens, you know, it's like when you're not used to tuning the guitar, it's very easy to sort of go past it without realising. And so what the immediate reaction and the obvious reaction is to just come back down to the note that's where your tuner says it's in tune. So if I play that now, okay, I'm just going to go to my usual sound because I don't like that sound very much. Now you think, okay, that sounds good. So what's the problem? Well, the problem is when you do bends, okay, I'm doing some pretty big bends, but and then you do the same again. Something's not quite right. Now, if you go back to your tuner, look at that. The E string's gone flat, the B string's gone flat, the G string's gone really flat, the D string's gone flat, the A string's gone flat, and the fat E's gone flat. Now it sounded kind of okay because most of the strings went flat by the same amount when I bent the strings, but they're all out. So what I'm going to do now is tune them back up to pitch, but I'm going to stop when it's exactly in tune. So that's the E string, this is the B string. G string, D string, A string, and the fat E string. So I'll play that now. So it's back in tune again. I'm going to do some fancy bends. Let's just check the tuning again. That sounded okay. So the E string slipped a tiny bit, but nowhere near as much as it was, and it's virtually bang on. The B string, again, virtually bang on. G string, same again, that's perfect. D string, that slipped a little bit. The A string's perfect, and the E string's more or less perfect, the fat E. Okay, tuners don't like low notes, that's why it's kind of hovering around a bit, but basically that's it. Always tune from low to high. Your strings will stay in tune better. That's all it is. The mechanism inside the tuners, so the gears that are sort of inside the tuner mechanism, are only machined to a certain accuracy. There are little gaps between the cogs, and what happens when you tune from high to low and then bend a string, it's like you're kind of closing the gap between the cogs. You know, you're slightly turning the tuner. But if you tune from low to high, then the cogs are always touching each other, and so when you bend the string, they don't move. You know, so that's why you get this difference when you tune different ways. So I hope that has explained why you always should tune from low to high rather than high to low. So if when you're tuning, if you go past the point where it's in tune, don't just back off until it's in tune. Go below where the string's in tune and then work your way back up again, just to make sure that those gaps between the cogs, well, there aren't any. You know, there shouldn't be any. And so when you're doing it that way around, it just keeps the cogs touching each other all the time. I've heard people say, "Oh, this guitar, it doesn't stay in tune very well. It's only an Epiphone. If it was a Gibson, it'd stay in tune perfectly." It doesn't make any difference. You could have a K or a Hondo or a Satellite or a really cheap, nasty guitar, you know. As long as you tune it going from low to high, obviously you've got to put the strings on correctly, and I've already done a video on that. I might do another video on it just with some more camera angles, just so you can see exactly what's going on. But either way, you can search back to my video about changing strings. If you put the strings on correctly, and if you tune correctly, your guitar should stay in tune no matter what make it is. So okay, that's it for now. I hope that you found that useful, and yeah, don't forget, always tune from low to high. Thanks for watching. I'll see you on the next one.